Hey guys, welcome to this video. I'm going to show you guys how to bottom and top tick using a little bit of my strategy. I'm not going to explain the full thing in this video, but I will give you guys bits and pieces, so when you guys join the live streams or you join the free Discord, you can sort of piece together based off of what I'm trading or watching me trade, how I actually trade. But this is going to be a small piece, and today we're going to be going over rejection blocks, and more specifically how to find high probability rejection blocks. This concept I learned from Powell, so shout out Powell. I'll link his channel in the description as well. But without further ado, I want to show you guys kind of how I trade them and how I'm able to bottom and top tick consistently, as you guys probably see in the live streams. But main thing you want to do is you want to go on to a higher time frame. I see a lot of people trading a 5-minute time frame, and they're overall just unprofitable with it. When I explain strategies or to unprofitable people, it's usually not their strategy that's the fault. It's usually just the time frame they're trading on. So if you're unprofitable, I would recommend just trading the same model on a higher time frame, and you'll probably make money. So a rejection block, there's two things you want it to do, right? So for a rejection block, you need it to be on a higher time frame, so 15-minute time frame plus, preferably the hourly or 4-hour, and you want it to be a candle that wicks off of a PD array, okay? Or it could have swept a previous candle. So the one we're going to focus on is where it wicks off a PD array. This is higher probability than just a sweep. So I'm going into this right now on the 4-hour time frame. What you guys are going to see here, you're going to see a fair value gap that this candle bounced off of. So what this does is it creates this wick. Now, as you guys know, I trade order flow, and if you look into the order flow on these specific wicks, you're going to see a lot of big sellers getting trapped. You're going to see a lot of absorption, and then you're going to see big buyers actually step in. So the order flow, I'll make a separate video on that, but for now, we're just going to stick to the regular charts. But you'll see here, the market created this wick out of a PD array, which was this fair value gap. And then what you want to do from there is you just want to take your sort of rectangle tool. You just want to mark it out. And now what you're looking for is the CE of this rejection block. This is the wick. This is called the rejection block. And you're looking for the 50% to trade into. So if I go on to a lower time frame and I show you guys will see you would have been able to bottom tick with literally how many points is that? 2 ticks of drawdown, right? So that's the most important part when it comes to actually trading this. People are like, how do you find your limit orders? How do you do this? It's based off of rejection blocks. So most of you guys coming into this already know what a rejection block is. I want to tell you guys some things that actually make it a more probable setup. So in this specific rejection block setup, you could see once we're pulling back that the rejection block CE lines up with a lower time frame PD array, right? On the 4-hour, we had this rejection block. The CE is 809.5, but it also lines up with a lower time frame fair value gap. So once you see these sort of things start to stack up, that's when you know it's going to be a good setup. So the fact that it lined up with a lower time frame PD array just adds more confidence. Now, if you actually go ahead and you go from this leg here and you draw out your OTE, you'll also see that it lines up with the OTE as well. So now we have the rejection block, we have a lower time frame PD array, and we have it lining up with the OTE of this leg. So this to me would be a trade I would take heavier and I would have more confidence in. And as you can see, it literally just ran like crazy, almost 130 points just off of that one specific level. So now if we go on to an hourly time frame, I want to show you guys another setup that you can actually take pretty confidently when it comes to actually trading rejection blocks that not a lot of people know of. When you have a candle like this that sweeps a previous high or low, like this, on this specific candle, you can actually consider this a rejection block as well and trade the CE of that. Now, if I go on to the 15-minute time frame, so now if I go into the 5-minute time frame, you'll see if you would have had a limit order there, you would have gotten filled at the 10 o'clock candle, completely top ticked, and it would have moved down crazy. Now, you're probably wondering, Shinobi, where is the PD array? Right here, we have an order block that lined up with this level, plus it was trading above midnight. So another thing you guys want to make sure is when you're longing, you should be below the midnight opening price. And if you're shorting, it should be above the midnight open price. This way, it's just higher probability and you can actually take those trades with more confidence. Another way to find a high confidence play is when you have a 4-hour rejection block CE line up with the OTE of a lower time frame rejection block. So here on the 4-hour, you can see we have this 4-hour rejection block CE at this level. And if we go on to the hourly time frame and we draw out the OTE, this rejection block on the hourly time frame, you'll see that it also lines up with the OTE of the lower time frame rejection block. So when you have that happen as well, that's really good, considering that's really good for a long position or short position based off of rejection block. When you have two different time frame rejection blocks lining up with their OTE and CE, that's another thing that constitutes a high probability rejection block. Now, the thing I see with a lot of people is they're always trying to trade every single rejection block they see. Not even every single rejection block. They're trying to take so many trades just based off of every single wick they see. Guys, there's a specific criteria you need to follow, and that just comes from back testing the strategy and sort of seeing what works for you, what doesn't, right? There's going to be times where you're going to take a trade just based off of a random wick and wonder why it doesn't work out, right? So if I go into like an hourly, like let me go into a 15-minute time frame here and sort of show you guys what I'm talking about. Like over here, we had swept this high. We're on the 15-minute time frame. You have this 15-minute CE. You could see that we did not tap completely into the CE and we rejected like 1 or 2 ticks off. So what I like to do, and another tip that I like to give a lot of people, is always set your limit 2 to 3 ticks below the CE just to ensure you get filled, because instead of that 1 tick here, 2 to 3 ticks isn't going to blow your account. All right, 2 to 3 ticks is not going to blow your account. So always set it 2 or 3 ticks below just so you could get filled when it edges like this. You could see, boom, you would have caught that entire drop and it would have been fine. So a lot of people, guys, like I'm going to keep this video short and to the point, but like a lot of people, what they end up really seeing when it comes to rejection blocks is they just try taking every single wick. Guys, discretion is super important when it comes to trading any sort of strategy or model. So make sure you guys are looking at the overall daily bias. You guys are looking at the overall market context of where the market should be heading. And if you guys want to actually trade alongside me and learn for completely free and understand how to sort of have discretion when trading the strategy, make sure you guys click the first link in the bio. It's the free Discord. And then in there, you'll be able to see me trade live, trading that 300 account that I turned into 15K, and then so on and so forth. Also, guys, like this is a really good strategy when it comes to prop firms because your stop loss is always going to be like 10 points. And if you guys want to pass accounts, whatever the case, or stack accounts, you guys can trade with any firm. My favorite firm is Apex. If you guys want 80% off, you click the second link in the bio and use code OBI and it will give you access. But yeah, guys, this is just a glimpse into my strategy. Like obviously all the time you guys will see on stream, I'm not always taking rejection blocks. I'm taking different levels. And if you guys want to learn that, that will probably never be posted. Honestly, not going to be teaching that strategy. But if you guys are in the free Discord, you guys show up to live streams I do every morning for New York session on my YouTube or Asia session on my YouTube, you guys will slowly start to see me drop hints of how I actually trade fully. So I hope you guys sort of gain some clarity in this video on how to actually trade rejection blocks, and you guys sort of understand what makes an A+ rejection block, and you guys understand how I trade. I know a lot of you guys have been wanting me to drop a video like this, so here it is. And if you guys have any questions, you can join the free Discord and ask me there or leave it in the comments. And yeah, make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. And if this video does well, I guess I'll post more. I have no choice but to post more videos like this. So appreciate you guys, and I'll see you guys in the next.